Hello, this is Jessica from Kentucky to Tokyo, and I have a rare opportunity today. There is nobody in my office for a variety of reasons, but the main one being the typhoon that is currently occurring right outside. You might be able to actually hear it if you listen carefully. I don't know how this is going to work with the camera, but ta-da! So much rain and so much wind. It's ridiculous. I don't know if you can see, but the wind and the rain, it's going sideways. It's not going up and down like it's supposed to. So yeah, that has been going on all day. It's going to continue all day. It's probably going to go on until tomorrow. So even though I'm supposed to work from like 8 to noon every day, I don't think I'm going to. I think actually they're probably going to cancel classes tomorrow as well. I'll still show up, but I don't think it's going to happen. The typhoon is expected to continue until tomorrow at like 6. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is a Japanese office, completely devoid of people. It's very weird. Feels kind of creepy, actually. But yeah, this is where like all the stuff happens, magic. Here's my desk. Ta-da. It's messy because I don't clean it very often. But yeah, so this is the style for the Japanese office space in general. Everybody has an open style office for the most part. And I know that in America, most of the time, I don't know if this has changed since I've been gone, I doubt it, but the way it works in America is that teachers will have their own classroom and they'll be able to like have their own like huge desk at the front and they can just talk with kids there. But actually in Japan, that's not how it works. The classrooms, which, you know, if you've ever seen a manga or an anime or whatever, you know what a Japanese classroom looks like. We go in and out of those and we come back here. But in America, you know, a classroom is like a teacher's space. Like it's their like territory. But we don't have that here. We only have these like little tiny desks and that's it. The students stay in their classrooms and the teachers will rotate out. They still get a 10-minute break though in between classes, the students. So, but we have, I don't know. I think it's really funny that like American students, they have to run from classroom to classroom, but usually you only get like 5 minutes to run between your classes. Whereas here in Japan, it's like the students don't usually have to run, so they get 10 minutes. Sure. All right. Anyway. But yeah, so this is what my classroom looks, or my classroom, this is what my, you know, office space looks like. Most people here at my school, the way that it works also is we have only 2 native instructors and then the rest are all Japanese English teachers. Yeah. And I have responsibilities in terms of I have to plan and coordinate communication lessons at this school. When I was on JET program, I think if you have seen my About the JET program video, I'll put a link in the description. Anyway, that video, I talked about how when I was an ALT, I would assist a Japanese English teacher in the classroom and I would make my activities for her, or him. There was one guy. But yeah, so I would make activities for these people and then it would have to be with a textbook that was provided for by the government and blah, 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 blah. But with this program, the way that I work is in a private school. I am the teacher, so I'm in charge of doing grade books and everything. So I wonder where my grade book is, actually. I think it's in my desk. But yeah, the grade books I have, I score tests. I do the tests because they're all speaking tests. I facilitate all of those. And we have a textbook, but it is a corporate or company textbook. Sorry, one moment. So yeah, our textbooks, we use this. We use the side-by-side 3rd edition textbook. That one is specifically garnered towards the idea of communication and talking, and it's a great reference point. I don't use it word for word sometimes. Sometimes I'll add new vocabulary words, or I'll change the dialogue or something, because sometimes it's too easy, and then sometimes it's too difficult for them, because Japan's English programs are kind of strange, like high vocabulary, low grammar in a lot of respects. So that's what I focus on here, though. I'm more focused on them learning how to speak and communicate with people, not so much on how to read and write and finish their tests, because they get that from the Japanese English teachers all the time. So for me, I just focus on making them talk and making them try to also use gestures. And I am really right now focused on intonation and trying to make my students learn how to do intonation, because in Japanese language, a flat tone is considered like the best, but here in English, of course, intonation matters. It can matter for meaning, and it can matter for even politeness and respect. So I'm trying to make my kids learn how to properly use intonation when they are asking questions and answering, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it can be a little tough. And then here I'm I'm a co-partner of the English club. The guy who is in charge is not here currently, but the actual, I hesitate to say leader, because it's not he's actually like the founder leader, like he's been here for a while. Anyway, we do English club together after school too, and we're with the like more advanced level English kids, and we make them also do communication, but more high level stuff. So that's what I do now. It's a very good job. I like it a lot, but it's also kind of more challenging in some aspects than ALT work, because you do have to do your own thing, and you have to learn how to take control of a classroom without the aid of another teacher. When I was in ALT, I didn't do discipline. I had the other teachers never do discipline most of the time. That's not entirely fair, but I think most foreigners who work in Japan will agree that like most Japanese teachers are really soft on their students. They don't really pressure or put, like, they're not very hard on their kids very much. Whereas now I'm in charge of discipline, and I can be kind of mean with my students, because I want them to respect me, and I want them to understand that even though I'm foreign, I'm still a teacher, and they need to listen and do as I say. So the thing is, usually what happens is at the beginning of the year, I'm really strict and really like, boom. But then as the year goes on, I get a little bit less strict, because by this point they've learned that, yes, if you play with your cell phone in class, Jessica will take your cell phone, and she will keep it until you do. I have various punishments depending on if it's the first offense or the third. If it's the third, I may get club teachers involved. But yeah, it's an interesting learning experience doing it your own way. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys have any questions about the Japanese teaching experience, about Japanese working environment, I would be happy to talk about it. It can be interesting to work in a Japanese like open office space like this, because everybody sees what you're doing. Everybody it can come up and talk to you at any time. So there's no privacy. The idea behind it is that it's going to be teamwork effective, but I feel like in a lot of ways it's kind of also like, I don't know, it's also everybody's in each other's business all the time, in my opinion, but I don't know. It's the way it is here. So, but yeah. Workplace environment questions, or if you guys want to know anything about, like, Japanese students in Japan, although I have interesting students in Japan, but yeah, if you wanted to know anything about that, I'll be happy to talk about it. But I think this video is just going to be a little short. I got to make an escape plan for my Typhoon day. I don't know how to get home without getting soaked. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and see you later. Bye bye.